Well, hello, folks. Fellow hackers and causers. So I want to thank everybody involved in making this work. Sarah, Aaron, Team Democracy, ThoughtWorks, everybody. So I think it's been awesome. So we might as well give them a round of applause now. Get that out of the way because it's really neat. I mean, one of the benefits I got, and I imagine everybody else did, was that instead of just going to a hackathon for Python or hackathon for Ruby or something, this was a cause mixed with a project. And so it became more of a collaborative environment than just a competition between us. And that's really inspiring to me because I never thought of something like that. And instead of just, oh, here's my little project, it's, oh, we can talk about yours and we can do everything. So that's why we're here. And I'm definitely here for the particular mission of things like getting big money out of politics so that only little money is there and it can be everybody's voice. In California, we got the disclose law happening, and you can see here in small print, this is the way ads are in California here, and we want them to be like this. This law is happening thanks to the California Clean Money Campaign, Trent Lang, and the work he's done over the last 10 years on this. And so what we have is a bunch of tools that make this sort of thing happen. One of them is the letter tool. So I'm going to show you the letter tool here in a moment, and I think I can just go to /letters. Will that work, Trent? Okay, so here's a letter tool, and if I were to type in all my information, which I'm not going to do right now, it takes you to another screen, which takes a little while, and then it's really user-friendly because that's how we've gotten so many faxes and letters to all of our representatives, but it's still a slow sort of web 1.0 process, and you can see we've got frames over there, and that's really annoying, and it's all done in HTML. And so one of the key things was talking with a usability expert, and so Trent has been working all weekend doing these wireframes to get exactly a new experience out. And so that's been like, he's been doing PowerPoint all weekend long. And Aaron has been developing Web 2.0, HTML5, whatever you want to call it. It's doing JSON back and forth to talk to the server now. And so it doesn't look exactly like this yet, but it's really coming along. So, I guess we got sort of responsive look now. Let me try making it a little smaller. So there we go. So this is sort of what the wireframes look like in a layout fashion, but then there's a lot more coverage that'll happen, including validation and stuff like that. So what happens is, if you get to the website here, now instead of having to refresh, when you click on look up targets, it immediately populates the right-hand side with all the letters for your representatives. And there'll be the same letter for all the people that were supporting the issue, and another letter for the people that were not supporting the issue. So you can click to send them, and we have it working so it can send to a fax or send to an email, stuff like that. So we're really happy with the progress that's been made today on that. And Jeff Whittington, who was here yesterday, worked on the back end, getting the data starting to flow, and then I worked a little bit more on that today. Let's see, what else was there? I want to also, we had an issue with CiviCRM, and I've been able to upgrade that to the next level so that it's starting to talk with a great API, which will move forward with the CiviCRM project. I don't know how long I've been talking, but thank you, Aaron, for all your great work. Thank you, Trent. And that's all I got to say about California Clean Money Campaign. And come help us. We always want more volunteers. I'm in Southern California, and Trent's in Southern California. We've got people up here working too. Join up. Oh, and now questions.
Anybody have a question
Or comment. Or comment.
or comment?
Questions, comments?
Anyone? Bueller?
Technology, politics?
How many votes away is this from actually being passed?
I'll let Trent answer those factors.
The California Disclose Act it's passed with the Senate. It had one vote to spare. It's coming up in the Assembly. It needs a 2/3 votes, and the Democrats have a 1-vote margin there. Not every single Democrat loves this idea, which is part of the reason why we need to really keep the pressure on. The Senate has just become a little bit more of a problem because we have to go back there because of our little corruption issues that keep popping up. We keep losing Democratic senators in exchange for campaign corruption. So it's really, really close, but it's going to really need a big push because when you change political ads, this major way in a state where $500 million is spent on them, we get a lot of pushback. So that's why we need the grassroots movement and working together.
Cool. Any other questions?
More questions? It was
Can I
written.
just add to something that Trent said, that like a lot of the propositions and ballot measures that come up are failing because of ads coming in from outside groups. And so this is, this is a way, this is directly hitting at that first issue. Like, we need outside groups to stop being able to put ads so that we can start changing our electoral system and start making progress that the people want. And this has happened, on every set of propositions that have come up. And you can't identify who is speaking. So this transparency legislation is really, really important.
I would just follow up. It seems like that change from like the super small font that nobody can read
Yep.
to like the names of the top funders is definitely a massive improvement.
Yep.
I wonder if it's being discussed or if there's an option of actually putting like logos, because that's actually a lot more quickly understandable. It's a lot more like it almost promotes them a little bit, but still I think we're continuing to improve on like what's the quickly glanceable, understandable thing, and
Yep.
I'm wondering if that's been discussed or is there any resistance to that? Or?
That is a brilliant suggestion, and our very first version of the bill actually had logos in it and had it in a full screen.
Nice.
But it made people in Sacramento really, really, really hate it.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
it's a difference when the Chamber of Commerce, who is clearly one of the biggest oppositions, dislikes your bill and is going to work against it, versus it's their number one death thing to kill.
Right.
And having the logos in there was clearly going that way. And it turns out that actually people recognize the logo of like Chevron and a couple of the others, but 95% of the time you don't know who the logos are. So we actually did some studies with people online, tested 1,000 people viewing the different ads. And actually that bottom third, because we can put it on the screen a little bit longer, they get it. They recognize it without having to have the logos, and that makes a big difference. Everybody should go to www.caclean.org and click that big red sign the petition button that you see that you can get right now, so you can get behind it.
Do it now.
Do it now.
Thank you, Trent.
I know you're all wired in.
Thanks, James. Awesome.